All right, guys. Welcome to the Two Dirty Dude podcast. My name is Sean Madden,
And I'm Carson Baker.
and today, I think the ominous feeling kind of gives our topic for today.
If you look around, it's pretty dark.
It's kind of
'cause it's
scary dark.
Yeah,
Did you know the moon's out at night?
it ain't now.
Oh, yeah. But did you know there's no sunlight at night?
What?
I know. It's crazy. But the sun goes to sleep at night.
So you're saying the sun's alive
The sun is alive.
and it protects us during the day.
It does.
What does it protect us from?
The monsters at night.
And when it's gone?
It's a feeding frenzy at night, guys. The boogeyman comes out at night.
Among other things too, right?
Among other things. Have you ever heard
Buckle in.
the legend? It's an old tale about a cannibalistic person who became a beast. Have you heard about it?
I don't think I've heard this one.
So if you folks don't know, there is a legend, very old Native American legend. We will not be taken serious because this is educational. But it's called the Wendigo or Digo or Wendigo. There's like many ways to pronounce it, but essentially it's where back in the day, now I don't have all these stories up because we don't have internet here, but essentially the basics of the origin story of the Wendigo is someone in like a starving time is basically kind of falls into that cannibalistic nature and they eat a person in desperate times. So when they eat that person in desperate times, they can't undo that flavor in the sense of the human flesh. So they become a Wendigo and they start eating people and it changes their body.
They just from eating a person.
Just from
they
eating a
just
person.
become
But it's at a
Wendigo?
desperate time.
But then, so cannibals are Wendigos?
Not necessarily.
So what's the difference?
The difference is at a desperate time. So in a harsh winter back in the day, let's say you and
It sounds
your
like
family,
the Donner Party.
pretty much. It is basically the Donner Party. If I was going to look up the Donner Party, if you guys don't know. But it's essentially the Donner Party where it snowed in. For example, let's say it snowed in, you with your family. Everyone's starving. No food. And in your head, you're like, I'm going to eat someone. And you eat someone.
Well, for the Donner Party story, I mean, people died,
yeah,
and that was their only source of
food. And that then since you gave
Was this
in,
the same thing as in someone who becomes a Wendigo? Do they have to eat someone who's already dead?
they'd eat someone alive.
So there's your difference.
Yeah, that is the difference. Now, I might not be right, but I'm 80% sure that's how it comes. And the thing is, Western civilization has kind of cultivated and not essentially like changed the Wendigo. They changed its appearance. So normally a Wendigo would be a thin, kind of gray-looking creature with teeth and elongated arms, I would say. But Western civilization has made it with a deer skull and antlers. That's how we kind of modern days have turned into the Wendigo. But a lot of native land, there is a lot of native land in California, Nevada, Arizona, Oregon. And who knows what's in those woods, you know? But the Wendigo is more or less more towards Canada, so up north. So we
say but they like the west side, or
well, they like
more
the snow.
Midwest?
They're associated with
I
snow,
see.
like heavy winters.
So yeah, what's their terrain? What do they like to?
Well,
what do they like to be in? Heavily wooded areas.
Yeah, heavily wooded areas with not really much civilization and
high
more
altitudes.
Snow. I would assume so. I mean, it's more like Canada area, like that Canada, Oregon spot, like the middle of the United States and the middle top, like Canada, where that top part meets. That's kind of where that legend came about.
Interesting.
But I don't really know what people created that legend. I would say I don't know the exact name of those people who created a legend. I mean, there's probably, I know different Native American tribes had a range of legends in different spots. Like you have the Skinwalkers, and then you have like the Wendigos. Like those two legends came from two different tribes well, many different tribes. There's multiple tribes in the United States, and but it basically there's different versions of the story, but since there's so many different tribes, people have their own way of telling it, in a sense.
I see.
And
It's kind of like a game of telephone.
yeah,
It changes a little bit as
but
it gets
everyone
passed
sees
down.
something different, you know. Like for example, the Skinwalker. That's more of like a witch, I would say.
See,
That's more of like a witch. It's more of like it's. I would say it's more closely. Well, if it is real or it was created near in the desert region, so Nevada, Arizona, kind of like South SoCal area, more of that desert regions where it does get snow, but it also doesn't. Even though SoCal doesn't get,
but like even like Utah and over.
yeah,
in, like,
Utah, that area, it's like that's more of like where skinwalkers are from, and Wendigos are more up north. So it's like Alaska, Canada, like northern part of the United States. But
do they ever come in contact with each other?
I don't know. That would be Wendigo versus Skinwalker. That would be a good movie right there. I mean,
I wonder if that's ever.
I wonder if that would be really interesting. It's kind of like if you have an alligator and a crocodile fight.
They're that similar though.
They're that similar, I would say.
What would be what's like the difference between the two? Describe describe a skinwalker.
From my knowledge, a Skinwalker is kind of like a witch in a sense. And
how so?
It kind of
cast spells or
not. Well, kind of actually. It takes the skin of an animal and it can kind of transform into that animal and mimic it.
Oh,
that's kind of like so Skinwalker. It wears the skin and it can mimic that animal.
Thus the name.
But Wendigos mimic voices. Now I'm not sure if that's more of a Western civilization redo of that legend, but I'm almost exactly sure because I'm just going off the top of my head. I don't quite remember all this, but I'm pretty sure that's what it does. And correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. Just trying to learn about all these legends and all that stuff. Don't take this to heart. I'm just an idiot with the camera. So.
No, you're doing great.
I'm doing great. Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. But yeah, so Wendigos, to my knowledge, mimic the voices they hear. So they can mimic like a frog. Or like if you say, you're like in Hunger Games, the Mockingjay. That's how it kind of works. I mean,
so you could be walking through the woods and hear your mother's voice.
Yeah, pretty much. Like give me a caution. I got some candy. You know, then you walk that way, and then
I'm fucked.
You're on a dinner plate, bud. Now the thing is, with Wendigos, they sometimes can retain the memories of their old self, but they're just surrounded by that like they're consumed by their hunger for people, that flesh.
Interesting. And they're consumed by the.
What's even crazier is there is some realism to the story. Wendigo syndrome. Have you ever heard about that?
No.
Wendigo syndrome is basically kind of like it's a mental illness, I would per se. I don't know if it should be called a mental illness, but it is. Right. So back to what I was saying. So Wendigo syndrome is essentially where someone who has per se is in a desperate time. They eat human flesh for that. In that desperate time, they kill for human flesh. They can't get that flavor, that hunger out of their system. So all they think about is human flesh. Nothing's gonna taste the same to them. They will only want human flesh because that was the one thing that saved them from starvation. So that's Wendigo syndrome. So let's say someone survives that. Let's say they eat a steak. It will not be appetizing for them to eat that steak because they all want human flesh, not steak. They only think about human flesh and when's my next meal coming. That's essentially what Wendigo syndrome is. Now, if you want to think about this, little skeptics out there, maybe those native people experience people with Wendigo syndrome. And that's why they killed them. Because they had Wendigo syndrome. Well, then you have a cannibal on your hand. Now,
can't have that. Gotta get rid of it.
Can't have that. I mean,
cut out the bloodline.
pretty much. I mean, like, think about this: if you're surviving in the woods, it's you or them. I do not blame those people for killing a person with Wendigo syndrome because you don't want another hunter of a human species next to you. You know, 'cause like if you're in the middle of the woods, you got to survive bears, mountain lions.
You don't need another thing to worry about.
Yeah, you don't want you don't want to worry about Farmer Joe getting a little antsy over there because he ate his daughter and looking at you on you because you're next in the
You're
menu.
looking like the Thanksgiving turkey.
I know I might be big, but I personally don't want to be cooked into a turkey. Please do God not stuff me. I just want to be myself, you know.
I don't think they're gonna take the time.
Yeah, I know.
But
If I was on a Thanksgiving plate,
it's like in the cartoons, you know, you're just gonna look like you're steaming.
hopefully I'm seasoned well, you know. Hopefully. I mean, they
You can only hope.
I can only hope. I can't.
Now, would they? So, not to get too graphic,
Yeah.
but do they eat you alive, or
All humanity's out the door. So
all you gotta do is pin you down and
yeah,
get to work?
pretty much.
For those, I'm not a big cryptids expert or know much about it. Sean's more of the.
I watch
Sean's
a lot
more
of
of the-
videos,
yeah.
especially on our camping trips. You hate it when
That's
I'm like,
right. We were.
that was that one time we went to Sardine Lake near there. Where were we camping near Sardine Lake?
No, if you're talking about what I'm thinking, so we were up by Chester. That was up by Chester, and we were camping just in the off the road, middle of the woods, no campsite or anything. This was just primitive. This is just for one night, and I had my hammock. I put it up, and Sean had his little stealth tent that didn't quite work out.
I was too tall for it.
It did, yeah, it didn't quite fit, and so it was kind of funny watching him wiggle around in that thing for a little bit. Anyway, he ended up going to sleep in the car, and before we had gone to bed, I came in to the car to grab something, and I looked, and he's just watching cryptid videos just while we're in the middle of nowhere. Just like we're in the places these cryptid videos
These
talk
things
about,
are.
that these things are lurking, and I have to go back and sleep in a hammock, a nylon hammock, and he's just
And I'm
safe in a metal cocoon. But no, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but listening to cryptid stuff while you are in their environment is a whole new feeling. Because it's like, if they're real or not real, it's like you don't know, and you're just listening to these cryptid videos, and then your mind starts to wander, and you just fall asleep. And then the only good part is it from my experience is that listening to something. Ooh, excuse me. Listening to something scary before you go to sleep does not give you nightmares. From my experience, it's kind of weird. It's like I don't know if there's science behind it, but like
I feel like it wouldn't be the same for everybody, but that is interesting. I feel like it depends on the person for sure, and how you kind of take to the videos. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes the last thing I look at, think about, something I really think about, or talk about, will be in my dream. Like the last thing before I go to bed, I'll dream about that sometimes. Like a lot of the time.
So did you?
Because it's the last thing lingering in your mind.
That's
so
true.
It does make sense, but not always.
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, I feel like if I watched a video,
listening to the Wendigo,
yeah,
or something. I mean,
I don't know. I
I
haven't
mean,
had it happen, but
yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, I think I've only had one nightmare from me listening to horror stuff, and I just woke up in a sweat. But in my head, I looked down on my phone and I was like, oh, it was the video. And I just fell asleep, and I was like, I was more at peace, you know, like my brain wasn't on alert. It was just like, oh,
yeah,
it was the fucking phone.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I guess there might not be science to it. Maybe I'm the oddball out, but I mean, essentially, I mean, though, like, I think nightmares. I'd use that to prevent nightmares, but I will say though this.
Is it like
Huh?
embracing fear, embracing
I think it might
these?
be embracing fear because I mean, once you
Because I
embrace,
can, I guess, understand that when you're kind of accepting of it and you're kind of like, bring it on, you're doing it to yourself.
yeah,
So maybe your body is just like, I'm good. I'm not affected.
like I think when embracing that fear helps me because when I go fishing at night, it's like I know my environment, and it's like if you learn certain stuff about your brain, you can put two to two together if you don't recognize it. Like, for example, when it was, did I tell you about the bobcat situation I had
Yes.
at Prosser? So
Yes, I remember.
when I was fishing over at Prosser Reservoir, I stupid me, never do this. Earbuds in your head while you're outdoors, especially when it starts to become night. Usually, that I never recommend that to anyone because you need to be alert, but I wasn't. So I was listening to music and listening to Joe Rogan. Shout out Joe Rogan. I love that guy. And essentially, I was fishing. I saw something in the corner of my eye. And I look at it. And it's this little bobcat near me. And I kind of jolt for a minute. But that was just me being surprised I saw a bobcat. I really just.
That's rare.
I know it is rare. I didn't.
That close?
That close. I mean, I was. I
That's
don't
pretty
even
cool.
know. Yeah. I mean, and all I did in my head was just keep eye contact with it and walk back. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, like, try to defend yourself, but if it's not fighting you back, it's like there's no point of defending yourself.
Yeah,
It's just
it
it's just
didn't
an
seem like it
animal.
was posing a threat or anything.
No, it's
it was
like
just curious.
it's like when we go into nature, this ain't our home. We do not belong in nature. It's every animal is home.
Well, yeah,
We
I guess,
left
yeah,
nature.
as
We
hum-
left nature
exactly.
a long time ago.
Yes,
We moved on
100%. We
to
moved
cities
on.
and outdoors, not outdoors, but small towns. You know, we're not a part of the
We
food
moved.
chain.
We moved indoors.
Yeah, we moved indoors. Yes, instead of moving
But
outdoors.
but no, yeah, there's 100% true.
Yeah,
Is that we don't call the nature home anymore.
no, and like I just looked
And
at
with
it.
that, animals don't accept us, which is why we don't see them as often.
They do fear us, though.
They do.
They do.
Well, I mean, they have every right to.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look what
From
we
what
did.
we've done to every population since.
I know. I mean, like what
I mean, since the 50s.
we killed off grizzly bears, most in California.
Oh yeah, when hunting was unregulated,
Yeah.
it was kind of a massacre.
It was.
Absolutely. I mean, we almost took up the whole buffalo population
Yeah.
in the U.S.
That's true.
They just have them in Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's it. And then what was the other one? They have like the last ones in San Francisco. They have it like in
Talking about condors or
No,
well, there
they're
is
in-
the California condor, the huge bird. That one was haunted almost to extinction, but they're actually starting to come back in California.
yeah, whatchamacallit, but they're these animals that are fenced in. They're in this Golden Gate Park. They're fenced in.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
what kind of animal?
They're like yak or like a water buffalo. Not a water buffalo.
I think
They're like
I do know
buffaloes.
what you're talking about because I've seen them.
Yeah.
No, they do. I think aren't they buffalo? Or-
They might be. I think they're.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
though. I actually have seen these.
I think they're buffalo, but there's buffalo in San Francisco, which is crazy enough. I mean, if you look at San Francisco, you don't think there's buffalo in San Francisco.
Yeah, they were brought in though.
Yeah,
They weren't native.
Yeah.
Well, I
true.
mean they used to be, but
yeah.
no, probably not that close to the coast. But
Yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
It's not their typical.
it's not their environment.
Anyway,
But I mean, we left nature, so if you can respect nature on how you would respect other people. Now, if you're a filthy person and don't respect anyone, well, don't listen to me. But if you actually care about people and respect people, respect nature like that. Like, just don't throw this out there, bring it home, throw it in the trash so it can be dumped in the ocean. You know.
terrible, Sean.
Well, it's true. You ever seen Trash Island?
It doesn't mean you gotta bring it up when you're trying to talk about conservation and clean up. There's a saying that every national park is leave no trace, and
Well,
pack
yeah.
it up, pack it out. Everything you bring in, you take out with
Yeah,
you.
and I'm promoting that, but
One
once you
place,
throw,
one
when you
place
th-
that has gotten disgusting, that I've heard, of course, never been, yet, is Mount Everest is a
Really?
trash heap.
there's a lot of bodies there.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
It's insane.
Frozen, they are perfectly preserved because they're frozen
in
solid.
time.
They can't do anything. They can't bring them back down with them. The same reason they can't bring, for the same reason they cannot bring down the trash that they have, is because it is just so much. It's so labor intensive, Everest, and I completely understand the kind of point that why you might leave your garbage, because like that would suck to have to bring it back down, but it has gotten disgusting. It is like a landfill at the top of the world.
Imagine tripping over, like, let's say your buddy died up there, and you just.
Well, yeah, people have had family members, friends, friends and family that just go missing, and
never to hear back from.
They just don't know what happened. They can't stay.
That's honestly pretty sad. I mean, like, think about this. It's like you knew someone was going to Mount Everest and they never came back, and it's like
there's a percentage of people that don't come back.
That's true.
Some people just think, oh, I can do it. I can do whatever I want.
I mean,
people who go to Alaska and just think that they can. People just go to Glacier and just go hiking around thinking nothing can hurt them. They're looking at a grizzly bear like it's a teddy bear.
It's like, oh,
and these are the statistics, and these are the people that show up on the news, like rookie hiker missing in national park.
Couldn't find him. We only found his socks somewhere.
Amazing. He was on the rookie trail and got lost somehow.
He went off trail and decided to freaking pet Freddy Fazbear. Trying to put his top hat back on.
But no, it's a real. People don't think they're in danger until they're in danger.
Yeah.
They don't think it could happen to you.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they are the main character.
It couldn't happen to me.
Yeah, couldn't happen to me. I mean,
how could they kill me off?
Yeah, but it does. I mean, I've had some close calls in my life with nature and self. Like,
I've had some close calls.
Like, I would admit. I mean, I remember really close call with the mountain lion. Me and my buddy, we were hiking up this mountain, and we had our dog. Well, God bless her soul. We had my grandma's dog with us, and we were hiking up this mountain, and we had now this was pretty like outback kind of area, like on our property. So it was
outback.
This is my property, is in the middle of nowhere and stuff, and it's like no one's there. It's like we own a part of the mountain and stuff.
Oh, you just mean it's a pretty secluded area.
It's pretty secluded area. So we had 2 BB guns and we duct taped flashlights to them. Just to let you guys know, BB guns will not protect you. They could scare off something, but
it'll just piss them off.
Oh yeah, it'll just piss them off. But really though, we walked up this mountain with my dog, and partway up it, my buddy says, actually no, not even my buddy, my dog. She just stops. She stops midway through her track. And she starts whimpering. Just fucking, almost putting her tail between her legs. And, she just didn't want to go any further. So me and my buddy were like, what the hell? Is it like a coyote or a mountain lion or something, like a bear? And my buddy just puts his flashlight up. We see these 2 freaking red eyes. And for a minute I thought it was an owl, but, that scream was just relentless. If I was gonna put it, sound like a woman screaming.
Oh, it's terrible.
And we just booked it down the mountain. And
it's just unlike anything you would imagine.
No, it's it gets just your goosebumps going. It's like
because when you think of a cat, you don't think of a scream. You think of more like a lion or something.
Like a roar,
more
but no,
like a roar.
It's like
growl.
A screech. It is ear piercing, and just I just remember I couldn't hear anything else. That was the only thing I could hear on that mountain. And it followed us too. We were sprinting out. Given fact, I might be big now, but I was about 280 pounds back then. And I was a lineman on my football team. And
so if that
I was big.
If that thing came running at you, you could have just put it down.
I was like a freaking bullet, dude. I ran so fast in my life. I could have passed out afterwards. I sprinted for my life, and I remember just running down the mountain. And once we got near my house, we just heard it like at the edge of that mountain, just screaming, and we ran into my house, and we were all shook. Me and my buddy were shooken up, and we went on the internet. We're like, what the flip was that? Like, we were just like, we didn't know what it was. Like, I thought it was a deer. I mean, this is my first ever mountain lion experience, so like, I thought it was a deer, owl, coyote, any animal I could think of. I thought it was, until we looked up mountain lion, and the scream was almost exactly the same. And I was just like, holy shit, that we could have been on the news that day.
Yeah, I remember my first mountain lion experience. It was back in the Bay at Mount Diablo. And me and my friend, I would say we were in middle school sometime. I would say like 7th grade. We were coming back. There's a little pond we like to go to, and we were coming back on our bikes. And this is during a huge drought.
Oh,
this was like bad drought time in California. We were coming down, and as you go lower, for any body of water like rivers, creeks, whatever, as you go lower, more water accumulates. That's kind of obvious.
yeah.
And so down at like the visitor center, that's where the stream is still running. And we get down there, and we just hear this same thing you're talking about, this cry, and we're like, we off our bikes in a millisecond. We were like, what the actual F was that? And we were like, and we looked down, and there was a mountain lion drinking at the creek.
Oh my god! Was this
thing
like,
was gone?
Was this like daylight?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is the middle of the day.
God.
That's why it was so
That
weird.
is
That's why it was
crazy.
so weird. Middle of the day, and this thing's just down at the creek drinking, and it was gone.
Jesus Christ! Was it big or kind of small?
It was skinny but big.
Oh, that's weird.
No, that's even scary because it's hungry, but it's capable. it's
capable of eating little boys. It's weird. I mean, what, you said you're in middle school when that happened?
Middle school, yeah.
You're a perfect snack for that.
That's yeah. Thankfully, other people in the area, but I didn't feel like we were in like immediate danger or anything. Yeah. But in that moment, we didn't know, because like my first experience, I was like, what the hell could be making that noise? What?
I know. I mean,
until we saw the thing just gone like a bolt lightning.
Jesus, those things are fast.
It saw us and it was out of there.
I mean, have you seen those videos of the mountain lion attacks of the people? Like that one guy.
Yes.
I don't know where it was. It might have been in Oregon, but that mountain lion following that dude for like 3 miles.
Yep, there's been multiple accounts. You just follow the guy just walking backwards while this thing's like, it lunges at you. It like puts its paws out, and it's like it like skips at you.
Yeah, and it screams at you too. It's like,
oh, it's
that. I don't even know what would I do in that situation.
Dude's just chucking rocks on it, just like yelling at it. That's what you just act big, yell, trying to scare it.
I mean,
and then there was another one I saw where the guy actually had a pistol.
Oh, really?
And it was like, get back, and the thing it lunged at him, and he just shot
it.
He didn't hit it.
But he did hit it.
No,
he didn't. I saw one. He did hit it.
Oh, maybe it's different.
Okay, there might have been 2 videos of that. Yeah,
but dude was shaking, and he shot a couple times, but just scared him.
Yeah,
scared him off.
There was
I would have. I don't know if that thing was. If I had a pistol on me, and thing was already coming at me, I would have been fired at least a warning shot.
Yeah.
Because that's what you
should always fire a warning shot. In any situation,
you always fire a warning shot, because you shouldn't kill it right off the bat. And it's a wild animal. Yeah. It doesn't know better. Especially like for bears, same deal. Any kind of predatory animal that got some interest in you. But is there an animal that's got some interest in us, Sean?
Yeah, actually, I think so. Over there, behind you, like. I heard it. I heard something like a 1 minute. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think we're fine. What should I call it?
But yeah, fire warning shots. Because otherwise, because like it probably will just go away if it's not trying to pursue you.
It's defending its territory.
Most likely.
At the end of the day,
if it wants to eat you and it's set on eating you, well, that's a different. Then definitely fire a shot and then stay on it, because you don't want to let up there. But yeah, definitely far off.
I will say this though, if you do, this is no legal advice, do your own research. I want to repeat, I'm
100%.
not liable for any of this, but call the warden. If you do end up shooting an animal and it was attacking you, I want to put preferences on
self-defense
is legal.
Is of course legal. That would be
That
it'd be ridiculous
if it's
it
you
wasn't.
or the animal, you choose yourself.
But you should report it.
You should always report it.
I think you have to report
Yeah, no, it's legal. You have, but this really giving you advice. We are never going to be responsible for what your actions are doing, but we strongly advise you do your own research. Like I said,
Of course, it depends which state, city.
Yeah, everything has their own regulations.
Forest you're in,
but
just know where you're at and what they allow.
But always call the warden in that scenario, and you should always do your research. Call the warden if you are in a situation where you were attacked by a predator and you unfortunately had to use self-defense on it, and you'd have to save your life. Now this is your last
ditch effort.
Yeah, last ditch effort. If you can
if you can
get it to go away,
scare it away,
that's good. You want that. You want it to go away.
It is a rough call though when you are, say, camping somewhere,
yeah,
and this is not your last night, and you're afraid of it coming back. That's a tough call.
That is a tough call.
Because I mean, you see it now, but what if you don't see it later?
That's true. I mean, I had some coyotes. I had a couple situations with coyotes that they would. So where I am from, the city has a lot of coyotes, and they were so used to people. Now, since it's a city, you can't really fire anything because it's way too close, but you would have to throw stuff at them because they're so used to people. They would come back. If they knew you had a cat or a small dog, they will come back to your block. I'm being serious. They would.
No,
they would
I know. It's just crazy to.
Yeah, like those.
To think about.
Like coyotes, like city coyotes, are freaking smart. They know where their next meal is. Like, have you seen? They're fat. Those are some fat coyotes right there.
So one thing you look at in a city is when they have coyotes, you look at if they have any rodent problems.
Oh yeah.
There won't be. They're like you're saying, they're intelligent. If a coyote dies or something dies, they don't come back. The female just pops out a couple more pups.
Yeah. It's simple as that. I mean,
their populations can be so stable and they're very they're pack animals, so they're very they're coordinated. Is what I'm trying to say.
Have you ever heard that pit bull that killed the whole pack of the coyotes?
Yes, came back with scratches, cuts all over. It looked like it had been in a razor blade factory.
The owner followed the blood. He followed the blood to the mountain. Dead whole pack of coyotes.
Was it like 9 of them or something?
It was like 9. That pit bull freaking just destroyed them. It's insane on how a pit bull can do that. Like,
no, it's impressive.
I mean, dude, those things are good guard dogs. If you train them well, those things are great guard dogs. But
yeah, they get a bad rap.
They do get a bad rap. I mean, they only get a bad rap when they're not trained correctly.
Yeah, weren't they banned in the UK?
They
too?
are banned in the UK, actually.
That's right.
I mean, always do your own research, guys, and just train out all your animal well. But I mean, coyotes are a serious problem because if they eat all the raccoons, skunks, rodents, they go for your small dogs and cats. Like it's like their menu is so big in cities.
Oh my gosh,
it's like you can see a coyote just take a puppy. It's like it's as simple as that. If it's smaller than it can survive 3 months off of it, like off of one singular small animal. Like they're built to survive. It's that
they've had to learn to adapt, especially around us people.
Oh yeah, no, it is honestly.
That's
crazy.
with most animals nowadays, especially bears. Bears are having their whole hibernation messed up. They aren't hibernating as long because they know they can get food year round from campgrounds. The reason we have bear boxes and such and dumpsters, it's still not good enough. They're still getting into trash. They're still getting in because people leave garbage.
Heard that? What do you think that was? A coyote?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I was I heard the sound, but I was talking. I couldn't. I wasn't focusing on
I
it.
wonder if I really hope we got that on video.
That'd be cool.
That would be crazy.
No. I mean, hopefully it was some wildlife. That'd be
I know.
cool. Anyway,
Just all right. What we're talking about? We're talking about coyotes.
no, but yeah, animals are having their whole their what was I saying? Bears are getting messed up. They're not hibernating as long. It's been a problem. They're so comfortable coming in close with people nowadays, and yeah, no, it's messing up the natural order of things, unfortunately. Which
Yeah.
is why we need to keep getting our garbage figured out. Pack it if you're packing it in, pack it out. No, leave no trace. All that. It's real and it's a problem.
Oh no, it's a big problem.
And yeah, coyotes are cool because they've they've adapted around people. So they've kept they usually keep a low profile though. They're not usually a threat to people at all, especially in cities. They're not really bothering you. When you go out in more nature areas, in packs and such, like what we saw over in Gold Lake, definitely be careful. They if they're hungry enough, they'll go for anything.
Yeah, I mean they'll go for anything that moves. I mean, if an animal's desperate enough, they will definitely try to go for anything that's smaller than them. But that's why the biggest thing nowadays is to make yourself look bigger. I mean, let's say there's two coyotes, and let's say you're with your buddy, you join hands with him and you start screaming and shouting at the coyotes, because two coyotes will not be able to take out somebody that's twice the size of both of them. You know, they're not going to have that kind of sense in them. They're going to get scared. So mainly you just kind of just make sure to kind of scare them off. Like what I do is I just go, ah, ah, like put your hands up, like shout at them and just get them away. I mean, they only want food, and you just have to make sure to scare them off. Now,
and most of the time they're just curious about you. They don't even really know what you are yet.
I mean, especially wild coyotes, they just want
to know if they can bite you or not and get away with it.
It's like sharks. It's like they just size you up.
And sharks also know now that humans don't taste good to them.
Yeah,
we don't taste good.
They don't
to them. Even though there's
shark attacks.
No, there's the saying that we taste like pork.
Really?
Have you heard that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so some cannibals have kind of attested because they know.
Yeah, I mean they would be the only people to know.
Yeah, well, obviously. So they say that we are very similar to pork, especially texture wise too.
Really?
Yeah, it's very fascinating.
I never really thought of that.
Anyway, shark attacks, they usually happen because we're wearing black wetsuits, surfboards.
We would look like a seal in their eyes.
Thing. Yeah, exactly. We look like a seal, and usually it's usually something quick. We are making some kind of fast splashing movements. They don't even know what we are yet. Yeah. If they don't know it's a person, then that's scary because you're food now.
Yeah, you're not even in that category.
But usually, if they come up and take a bite out of you, they usually will let go unless they're that hungry.
Yeah.
And you're fighting back.
Tiger sharks are the one.
Bull sharks.
Oh.
Bull sharks are I think they have more attacks than
they're in freshwater.
Yep. They are one of very, very few sharks that can survive in fresh and salt water. They have been found
in Missouri.
They have been found in inland lakes and rivers. There was there was this one account. It was in the Midwest. It was like around Missouri or something. There was a guy on his horse, like a racehorse, like a winner, like a purebred, like this was a good horse kind of deal. They were crossing a river. They were doing some, I think they were doing some endurance exercises in the river to help. Even horses like to swim or something.
Well,
they train them. They train them in water.
They do swim. I will admit.
No, they definitely do. Not necessarily because they like to. Yeah. Usually we ride them across.
we're just forcing the horses.
But trainers will train them in water to help build endurance and such. And this guy was on the bridge with his horse in the water, and the horse starts neighing and going nuts. Pulls him out. It's got its whole leg just ripped up.
Oh my god!
Because of there was a tiger shark. There was a bull shark in the river.
Jesus Christ! You just imagine that you just go in this river and you're in the freshwater. You do not think twice that there's going to be a shark.
You wouldn't.
Why
Why
would you?
would you?
It's like, man, maybe you might kick a catfish, but freaking bull shark, dude. Like, I would be so traumatized as a kid
if you knew
saw
anybody,
a bull shark. No, if you see a bull shark's fin,
oh,
just go into the river.
yeah, it's like being at Lake Tahoe. Imagine being at Tahoe
Oh
and
my
you just see
God.
a fin go across the beach. You're
You're
like,
like,
I'm done.
This kid.
That's
Why?
it.
How did you get here? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, here, move the heater on my side, bro.
Yeah, here,
It's so cold.
Yeah. No, go for it.
Oh my God. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. If you're out here in the middle of the woods and talking about creepiest stuff, it's always good to have a heater. We're not sponsored or anything, but I love these portable heaters. They're like top tier lifesavers. Is to never put these in your tent because you will die of carbon dioxide.
Not carbon monoxide.
What was
but
it? Carbon dioxide?
Monoxide.
Oh,
Yeah,
monoxide. Sorry.
So not all heaters can be indoor heaters.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a sort of converter. It's like on your car, like a catalytic converter on a heater because they're filled with propane and those emissions can be toxic. And like you're saying, you can get carbon monoxide poisoning like you would from a car being on inside like a garage. But some of them, like I said, have catalytic converters that will cycle it out and it's safe to have. Maybe not for a long time exposure, but like for like camping in a tent, you're fine. And just make sure you have it set up properly.
Yeah.
Not laying down next to anything too flammable because it is on fire.
Yeah, it's a heater. It's basically like having a portable campfire.
Yeah, kind of.
Just can't cook anything on it.
I wouldn't suggest trying. Just go out and get some wood and burn it. Anyway.
So back to bull sharks.
But yeah, sharks are real. Bull sharks are a real threat that you don't expect. I saw this one story about it's the same area. It's like these great rivers like the Mississippi that lead up into these inland lakes, and it's in that Midwest area. I cannot remember the state, but there were these friends who were just going for a late night swim. They were racing across the lake. There's two of them. They just jumped in, were swimming across. Only one friend made it.
Oh.
He jumped back in. He was looking for his friend. Never found him.
Jesus.
Later, his body was found.
Bull shark?
And, torn.
Jesus Christ. That's
he was
terrible.
Ripped up. And, like, imagine your buddy's gone.
And you didn't think, and the thing is,
you didn't have any kind of hint, no inclination, nothing.
That would be like the scariest thing to happen, to be honest. Like,
that'd be rough.
It's rough and it's terrible, but it's nature. Nature's not nice.
Nature bats last. It's the final boss kind of deal, and you're not gonna defeat it. You just have to learn how to live with it, how to cohabitate. It's the only way to coexist.
Nature in itself is the fear and the horror of Earth. Besides humans, well, it's the natural horror of the Earth.
It's the cycle. It's the
natural cycle. It's a natural cycle.
All this stuff that we're talking about is natural stuff that happens to other animals. It's just weird. We're just talking about it being such a thing because it's from a person's point of view.
From a person's point of view, since we left the outdoors, that is the new horror, is going into nature alone.
Yeah, because we're not used to it.
Yeah, we're not used to it. We're not like...
We have become soft.
Yeah, we have. I mean,
we're not built for like this weather. We have to have
a heater.
We have to have all these layers on, and
it's like we lost so much of our hair. Like, I'm being honest. Like,
I mean,
we're just naked. We're naked animals. Like,
I think it's continued. I mean, eyesight. Now we wear glasses, and
we're
so many restrictions. There's so many restrictions that people have now. The only thing that's developed is our intellect. Brain. Yeah. That's the only thing that we can account that's better. Yeah. Well, thumbs are arguable.
I only have one thumb that works. I lost all function in my thumb. I can't even bend it or feel it.
You can't do that.
I can't do that. Big accident. I would go into it on a different day, but it's terrible. Like, the circle doorknobs are challenged. Like, I have to do, like, hold it like this Like I have to position my hand.
It's not funny, but I mean, it's a little funny.
You're laughing at my disability, Tech. Would this count as a disability? I don't know.
To some degree,
I mean, yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
anything.
it's definitely not like
not like a real.
This is not a real disability.
It ain't gonna give you a parking pass.
Ah, shit.
I know you've tried.
I have gone to the DMV asking, hey, I got one finger that doesn't work. Can I get a parking pass?
I remember going back to acting big in front of animals. I remember my first badger encounter. I encountered an American badger one time.
What the hell? What do they even look like? Are they just like regular badgers or?
Yeah.
I want to make sure, like, what was the coloration different than other ones? Because I didn't know we had badgers in America.
I know they were in America. I didn't know they were in California where I was.
What the hell?
This was home.
This was your home?
Home.
Shit.
Not at home, but in my hometown.
Oh shit.
So we have this this lookout we call it the View. Obviously that's such a unique name, right?
I know.
Anyway, and we go up there every so often. It's got you get a nice view of the sunset, and it got dark. Me and my buddy came back, and we just hear this rustling right in the bushes, just as close as this grass is behind us.
Damn.
Like close. And we hear just this growling and hissing. And I'm like, what? I have a video of this.
You do?
I should show you, yeah.
Do you have it? You want to?
It would take me a long time to pull up.
Well,
it was a while ago.
We'll have the video right here while we're talking.
And the thing was pissed at us. It didn't like that we were in its territory. This was a territorial threat. Badgers, if you guys know anything about badgers, they are badasses. They are not afraid of anything. Honey badgers in the savannah, they take on lions, porcupines. They have the thickest skin. So when animals do get a hold of them, they can't bite through them very easily. They have to get a good hold on them, but they will just take on anything. Bees, honey badgers are called honey badgers because they will go into a beehive, not even caring about the bees, not one bit. They will get stung, everything, don't care. Doesn't faze them one bit. They will just get the honey and leave. But this was an American badger. I know that for a fact. And so when we encountered it, it was hissing, and we were like, well, we don't really want to get attacked here.
Yeah.
So it was exactly what you were saying. I just acted big, hands up in the air, just yelling. I was just kind of like, just like all that stuff. And it works. It really does.
Yeah.
I named him Derek.
You named the badger Derek?
Yeah, his name is Derek.
Why what made you name him Derek?
It was, I kind of name a lot of animals I see, and there's never a huge motive behind it. Just as that's just kind of what pops in my head at the time.
You just think you're a Derek.
That's a Derek right there. Anyway, so that one was cool. That one was really cool because I was not expecting it one bit. We barely see deer up there, let alone badgers.
That's crazy, badger. Like seeing a badger in the middle of a town is
you down the hill where houses.
That's crazy.
This thing could have ended up in somebody's backyard. It probably has. It probably ended up on next door.
It's like, yeah.
But
is that Derek the badger?
I was thinking about that for a while. How did this thing end up where we were on this trail? And that was pretty cool though. That was one of the more exotic animals I have come encountered.
I would say an exotic animal I've ever encountered, nothing too dangerous, of course, but if it would be something, it would be the collared lizard in Nevada.
Oh, okay.
It's not really exotic, but I mean, nothing too crazy. But
those scorpion lizards we saw
up
at Pyramid Lake, those were so cool.
And
then we saw the scorpion lizard, and then what was the other one? Do you remember? There were two kinds. It wasn't bearded. It had something on its neck though. It was something related to it. It was like, oh no, it was a collared lizard.
It was. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
I remember because they had the scorpion tail lizards.
Yes.
Well, they're geckos actually, technically.
Oh, they really?
They're geckos. I think they're geckos. They're in desert climate. It was kind of weird. I never think they would have been in Nevada. I thought they'd be more in Arizona.
It kind of makes sense because
it's
a desert. I get the high desert might be a little off.
Yeah.
But Pyramid is the Pyramid Lake, there's nothing around that lake.
Yeah,
but
that's
just
true.
desert, not very just shrubs.
I mean,
little
could
bushes.
be wrong. That could have not been a scorpion-tailed gecko or lizard.
Oh no, it was.
It was
That one
100?
we saw. Yeah.
That was 100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No, it had the little tail going back and
Oh
forth.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess
you could see it.
That's true. Well, whatchamacallit?
And then yeah, we caught. I didn't get a hold of a scorpion. Those things were freaking fast.
Those guys were.
But we got a hold of a collared one.
That's true. I've held a big collared one. Remember the one I sent you?
I do remember.
Yeah,
that.
I just caught it on the trail. Well, it actually was an off-roading trail, but those were fun times.
I remember running into scorpions. Same Mount Diablo. We were on a night hike, and it was just that time of year, summer. It was like 80 degrees at night, like pitch black. It's like 80 degrees. It was ridiculous. It was kind of bizarre. We were just looking down right on the trail, and there was just scorpion after scorpion. Now, they weren't like right next to each other, but like every 100 feet or so, you'd see a new one, bigger and scarier than the last.
I remember I saw tarantulas on this one mountain.
And then we saw a couple.
Tarantulas were so fun. Like we'd catch them and like look at them, and they're like these small tarantulas. They're like, you can tell they're tarantulas because of how their body's structured. They're not like a spider, but they're a tarantula. But when I went to my property, I did not know there's scorpions up there, all the way up north in California.
That's never a good sign.
And
when you're not expecting a scorpion and you see a scorpion.
Me and my buddies were sleeping in my tent, and it was a cold night. And when we packed up everything, we were just under scorpions.
Like, on top of?
No, like below our tent.
Yeah.
Like, we were just sleeping on top of these scorpions, and we didn't have a cot. We were just sleeping on the ground, and we just lifted up the tent, and they're just all these. And then
tell us why. Why do they like to take refuge underneath?
Because it was shelter, and we were warm. We were creating that heat above them, so they just crawled under us. I'm surprised we didn't even get stung by being.
Remember the sharp tail? Found the sharp tail snake.
Oh, yep. Under my tent.
Underneath your tent.
Under my tent. It's like all my tents. I lift up. There's an animal there. Like we had the sharp tailed. We had the ring snake one time. Then we also had a frog. Remember that frog, right? At Wet Meadows.
Oh yeah.
We had that frog.
Oh, especially there.
That's
a spot.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I've had couple tree frogs under my tent, like up north in Cali, but camping there. But I mean, nothing too crazy. I mean, I did find a gopher snake near my tent, which was actually kind of weird. I thought it was a rattlesnake for a minute because I looked at it and it was kind of tan, and the head shape screwed me off a little bit because I was kind of I was away from it. I was kind of look at it because you could tell like a venomous snake's head shape is almost like this.
Yeah, it's
like
it has like it's like a triangle.
Yeah, it's a triangle.
You look for the widest part of its head. If it's wider than its body,
yeah, then that's a venomous snake usually.
Because that's its venom sac.
Yeah, but some snakes don't have that. Like the hognose snake, they are venomous, but they're rear fanged. So
that's right.
Their venom is a little bit different. It's mild, but you gotta
know
your snakes. Do your research and know your snakes. Like I used to breed reptiles. I can kind of finesse this. I can look at an animal and be like, yeah, you're venomous, or nah, you're weak. You can't do anything to me. But I think it's time. We have to make meth now, man. I'm coughing. We're not making meth. That's a joke. Don't worry, ATF and FBI. If you're listening to this, I'm joking. But no, yeah, animals are weird. I mean, back to the coyotes though. My grandma's been followed by coyotes around this lake at her hometown. Oh. She used to walk her dog on this lake.
Not recently,
no. But she has a puppy now. But when she had her old dog, I'm just making sure the coyotes from my hometown aren't listening to me, so they don't gang up on my new puppy. But the coyotes would follow my grandma while she walks her dog, and
that's scary.
They would just follow you to your car. And I remember one time I was fishing at the lake near there, and it was like 4 a.m. and usually you can hear the coyotes start to howl. Usually if you keep a knife on you, you're pretty good. I mean, anything. Like there's been times where, have you heard the story of the guy that just hit a coyote with his metal teacup? He went smacked it away from his dog?
No.
Oh, he was just hiking in Pacifica.
Oh.
And coyote came up on him. He went, boom! He just knocked it out with a teacup. A little teacup. It was just like a thermos or whatever.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like
not
one of those,
teacup,
like
sorry,
one of those
like a
Stanley
thermos.
cups or something.
Yeah, he just went.
Okay, yeah.
Boom.
I was gonna say like one of those little tin mugs. I don't think that would do too much, but yeah.
No, yeah, the Stanley. That's your main weapon of choice in the pocket.
You could get some.
Some good hits right there.
Swing on that.
But I remember back to what I was saying though. I remember I was fishing. It was like 6-5 in the morning. The sun just starting to come up. And I just hear a dude screaming across the lake. And I heard a bunch of coyotes yupping. And I was just like, that dude is either going to die today or he's running for his life. And it wasn't just one coyote. It was multiple coyotes here. But I heard it across the lake. And, I mean, I didn't really know what to do in that situation. I mean, what can you do at that point? I mean,
pray.
Yeah, pray. I mean, no. Just pray for the dude. I mean, that's like, are you a little cold?
What?
Are you a little cold?
No, I'm fine.
You good? Okay. Oh. That's some frost on there.
Yeah, it's from the depressurization.
Yeah, no, I know my chemistry.
Good, I hope so.
Pastor exams, guys. It's final seasons for all you college folks, and I mean, high school. Would they have their finals now? Maybe.
I remember.
I don't know. Well, if you're having finals, guys,
good luck.
Good luck. It's hard out there. Make sure you know your chemistry and all your sciences. But I mean, what would be your weirdest experience though with animals? Like
weird or scary?
Kind of both, like a weird and scary vibe.
Well, the badger one was really weird and little frightening. It was just bizarre. I was just stunned when I first saw it. I was like, why is there a badger here?
That is a weird place.
We're by like an electrical tower in the suburbs. I'm like,
he wanted to get Mickey D's, bro. He wanted to get McDonald's, bro.
He must have.
He wanted that double in the McRib, dude.
Dude, these ads are getting too crazy. The animals are coming out.
You're gonna still have a deer going for that Happy Meal with the apples. Just order at the cash register, like, give me a Happy Meal. I mean, if any hunters out there, if you see a $10 deer at McDonald's, I mean, just put some rat poison in that Happy Meal.
A 10
10-point deer. I mean, shoot.
Oh god. But yeah, besides that, let me think. Yeah, the mountain lion. I guess I did had a bear story that I talked about earlier, but that one wasn't that weird. But...
Pause. There's footsteps. Hold up. We'll try something.
And we're back.
Freezing. Sorry about that, guys.
Coast is clear.
Yeah, we had a check for zombies.
Yeah. So what'd you see? Did you see?
So essentially, what happened? While we paused the video was, I heard. So if you weren't here for the other half of the episode, I heard a scream like a coyote or whatnot or something. I'm not sure if you heard it too, but basically,
I just heard the noise while I was talking.
And I kept hearing something behind us. Now, I could be tripping out, honestly. That's what the wood does to you. It tricks your brain.
Makes you paranoid.
It does make you paranoid.
Especially when you have if you have one experience
that's terrible.
Where that noise actually turned into something, you will look at every single noise after that.
Yeah. And like, judging from my past experiences, it's like, you get that feeling. And basically, I wanted to check with our giant spotlight we have here. And I turned it that way, and I saw just a flash of eyes. And then when I moved the light back, not even there anymore. So I don't know.
Hopefully just like a deer or something.
Yeah, nothing too crazy, but I am freezing. But anyways, continue your story. What you were saying about... Well,
no, you were asking about weirdest animal.
Yeah, weirdest animal experience.
I mean, I can't say anything weirder than the badger very much. I've had some weird. Okay. Actually, there was a interesting zombie deer experience we had. Not
I had a zombie deer.
Not as in they were diseased.
Yeah.
We were up in the Shasta area, and we were driving through at night, and there were just these herd of deer not, I wouldn't even say, not like a whole herd, like 4 or 5 of them that were just scattered in the road, just not moving, just staring at us, just staring us down. They look like just blank in their eyes.
Oh.
Like there was nothing there. And they just wouldn't move. We just slowed down, and we were just like kind of like moving around them. We kind of like rolled the window down, and like they were just kind of staring at us. And no, that one was weird.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even make a noise. They didn't seem
Yeah.
like they were interested in anything else but us.
I
just really hope no one else came banging through
Oh
there.
my god, that would have been terrible.
Oh god.
I know I had a zombie deer experience, and I was 100% sure it was either zombie deer disease or rabies. Now, just for you folks that don't know what zombie deer disease is, it's a disease in deer, and it's kind of self-explanatory. The disease causes the deer to decay, and it kind of goes mad in a sense, where it decays, it doesn't eat, it gets really thin, and it dies off. But it does become like a zombie where it's decayed to the point where it's still moving, but it's pretty much dead. Now, I was over at Paradise Lake, to be specific, fishing, and I was with my girlfriend, and we were walking on the trail around the lake. We were trying to find a nice place to fish, right? Because we saw some really nice striped bass there, not striped bass, sorry, spotted bass there, and some trout. And really big bluegill. Oh my god, those bluegills are huge over at Paradise Lake, dude. They're like I would just in the lake netting them. They're that close, and I would just like hold them up. It's about the size of my hand.
Yeah, bluegill are fun. They're the size of a plate.
Practically serve them on a plate at that point. But no, so we were walking on this trail, and for some reason, me and her have like bad timing on when we get a bad feeling about something. Like, we always put that shit under the table. We don't take it in consideration.
Oh, you don't listen to, like, your intuition?
We don't listen to our intuition.
Well, maybe you should start listening.
It's happened a few times where, like, we're in the woods, and we're like, nah, I'm overreacting. And that's going to get us hurt one day, because we were walking on this trail, and we see a deer laying in the brush. Now, by all means, deer, walk past it. It was not fazed by us. It actually started to follow us. And that's when I started getting kind of freaked out, because, when an animal does not act like itself, that's how you know something is wrong.
Well, especially for a deer. Something that's not predatory, it has reason to be afraid of you.
Yeah.
Because it's not...
Humans and deer's track record aren't good.
It's not aggressive. It's not trying to hunt you. It usually is hunted.
Yeah.
So when a
deer
continue.
So it kept following us, and we kept walking, and it still followed us for about a mile. Not even a mile, but I'd say like half a mile around this trail. And then across the lake, we heard a bear maul a deer. And that was kind of like our warning sign of like, let's just wrap this up and go. So we were walking back, and the deer was waiting for us behind a tree. It knew when we were coming back, because it followed us again. It got so close, it was probably to my truck bed, to me, and it was thin, and it had the eyes. It was just like, those were eyes of death. Cameron died. So basically, the deer just kept following us, and it just looked like death was around it, and it just
all musty.
Dude, it just kept following us, and we thought it had rabies. It looked like it had rabies or zombie deer disease. But essentially, guys, stay safe out there. You don't know what animals have. Get bit by any animal, please get checked for rabies, or you would have to get an injection in your ass. It's not fun, but
yeah, no, definitely don't play around with that stuff.
Yeah, it's not light. But, well, that's essentially it, guys, for this episode.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
Yeah, we went over a lot. Thank you guys so much for listening. Really hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Yeah, we're really trying to get this thing going, and we're feeling good.
Well, hey, this is episode 2. Hope you guys enjoyed today. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Catch you later.
Over and
I think cold pizza is the best, personally.
You're fucking insane.
How am I insane? Cold pizza is like the best pizza out there.
versus warm, hot pizza.
Well, it's good when it's hot and warm, but the leftover,
You're saying it's better.
it's not better, but it's better. It's better than reheating that pizza up.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not. You're
Okay,
cra-
when you have the pizza, you already experienced it warm and nice, but the leftovers are leftovers, You bring that out of the fridge and you eat it. It's a pretty good pizza.
I would only do that if if I was running while eating this pizza and had no way of getting.
Why is
to-
that person driving so slow in the fucking...
I don't know. Because they're scared of the dam that's gonna break or something.
But no, cold pizza is pretty damn good. It's
Not compared to warmed up pizza.
well, we're talking about leftovers, right?
Yes, leftover pizza.
Leftover
Obviously,
pizza.
compared to fresh out of the oven
yeah.
pizza, it's not gonna be.
I think cold pizza is better.
I think you're crazy.
I think you're fucking crazy.
Dude, ask anybody. 9 out of 10 people are gonna tell you heated up pizza is better.
Cold pizza's a little bit better than heated up pizza.
I don't think it is.
It is.
I think you're wrong. I
think
say
you're
9.
wrong.
I say 9 out of 10 only because there is a crazy out there like you that they
That
would
crazy is probably most of the population.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
There's no way.
There is a way.
I don't think so.
I think there is.
No.
Wanna
I
bet?
think
You
you're wrong.
wanna bet?
I will bet. Yes, I will bet on this.
You will bet on how much are you willing to put
I'll
on
put
this?
$50 on this.
$50? I ain't doing $50. I could care less for $50.
What, you want 100?
No, I'll say like $5.
Oh.
I'm not fucking rich. I'm fucking broke. So I'm not doing $50. I'll do $5.
Fine.
$5?
I'll do 10. Let's do two.
No, no,
10.
no. $10. That's a little much.
Let's do 10.
Why 10?
Because fuck $5.
How about 7?
Why the fuck 7?
$7.50.
I don't want your fucking change. Come on, 10. Let's just do 10.
Fine, $10 in quarters.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna chuck them at you.
I'll give you $10 on pennies.
Keep it.
Keep
'Cause you
it.
know I'm gonna win. There's
No.
no way you're right.
I am right. I am
No,
very much right.
There's no... Then why don't you put $50 on it?
Because I don't have that kind of money if I'm wrong. I don't have that kind of money if I'm wrong.